think we've been under the Trump regime now for 1 year. Isn't the
Let's not get technical, but it's 1 year, 2 days.
Oh, is it 1 year? It's unrelenting. The fire hose of things
No shit. Unrelenting is a great way to put it.
Well, hello, everyone. This is Roy. Welcome to A Bold and Distant Future. I'm trying to stay positive in the light of these dark times and trying to stay nonviolent. And one thing I did recently is I watched Gandhi again. I think I talked about this last week, but if you're in a down mood, for me, the first 40 minutes, you don't have to watch all 3 hours, the first 40 minutes of Gandhi when he's in South Africa. Great movie, Ben Kingsley.
Yep.
Wow, that's a healing thing. If you need some
Valentine
healing.
used to teach that.
Yeah.
He gets shot in the end, right?
Yeah, well, actually, in the movie, the opening scene is him being shot as an older man. Then it's all flashback from there.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, that's what I've been doing. How have you guys been staying healthy? Have you? Trying?
Well, life in the garden and the pot shop is good. You know what I'm saying?
The pot
And I'm
shop?
not talking about the pot shop where you buy the good stuff.
Okay, yeah, that's
Although
one way
you
to
can
stay.
buy some pretty good stuff.
I've been waiting for iconic photographic images, and this one, coming out of Minnesota, is getting pretty close. The man with the resist flag standing strong in the smoke of tear gas, surrounded by, I guess it's DHI guys.
I want to see
What are
what
they?
type of mask
DHS,
he's wearing.
DHL? Who are these guys?
DHL.
Yeah, I can't tell.
And I'm trying to find that iconic. I don't know who photographed it, so just something I grabbed, and I realized this is a great photo.
They all look like... What are those little guys in Star Wars?
Ewoks?
No, the other little guys. The very beginning, they're like bandits.
Oh, yeah. I don't know the
Jawas?
name. Maybe.
Yeah, they look like Jawas.
Well, all eyes are on Minnesota, and I saw this. I'm always looking for signs of hope. A judge has restricted Minnesota ice tactics, and I'm not sure what they've done exactly, but it looks like they're retooling what they can and cannot do. I'm not sure how if they're following orders
Well,
from judges.
they restricted their use of tear gas, and yesterday what's the guy's name? The head of
Bovino or Homan?
was photographed throwing a chemical irritant into the crowd. So that's how well that went.
I saw that video. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, this national walkout happened, and I have images here of high school students in Boise, Idaho, walking out of class. So this is hopeful. High school students are starting to pay attention.
It's like I said a while ago, once you get the high school kids involved, things shift. Because they're having conversations with their parents, and they're having conversations with their teachers, and they're seeing the hypocrisy in what's happening around them as opposed to what we claim our country is about. That's the perfect age to notice that, start acting on it. Ice not served here.
I think this is a sign being posted in many businesses in the Minnesota area, different stores and so on.
You hear about the hotels that closed down?
No, I didn't.
There's at least a couple of hotels, I believe, where ICE agents were staying that have decided to shut their doors. And that's in the past week, last few days.
Because they've had protesters there just all night long with drums and noisemakers, right?
Yep. And if I had it together, I would have reserved a room, and they could have had a protester inside the hotel. That would have been fun. Blasting Slayer at 2 a.m, stuff like that.
You guys are getting the Arctic blast.
We are getting the Arctic blast, but it's going to be far worse further south from us.
Okay.
Yeah. California looks like it's well out of the way, but this is going to hit Texas, Kansas, Arkansas, and then it's going to move east into the south, and that's going to be fun to watch. And I don't mean that in a negative way. I mean, I really feel for people in the south. I was in Durham last year when they had a dusting and the whole place turned to crap.
I know how that goes. They're not
Yeah.
used to driving in anything slippery or icy.
I swear to God, I was making my way back from a bar that I had used to go to in Durham, and I was taking Lyft. About every fourth car had their hazards on, and every 2 miles someone had spun out. I
Yep.
went to work the next morning. I was the only one there.
Yeah. We only get it once every 20 years out here, and it's terrifying to drive watching people who don't know what they're doing slam on their brakes and start to spin.
Yeah. Oh, hell, I do. We do that too. I mean, even those of us who are used to snow. I just tried, I'll tell you this much. The other day I tried to drive to the Whipple building because I was going to, go carrying signs and singing songs.
Mm-hmm.
But about halfway there, I suddenly slid into the left adjoining lane, corrected and went into the right adjoining lane, and decided I had enough and came home.
Oh, God.
The ice on the roads here is really, you don't see it, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
Right.
Got it.
It's like the
Black
infamous
ice.
black ice, as they call it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Legendary.
So
People
at
in-
least I tried, okay?
That's good. Thank you for trying.
Do people put chains on their tires or wear snow tires during this time of the year, or no?
Up north I do.
Just checking.
Yeah. Not around here. No, not in the metropolitan area. I don't know what that would do to the roads. But yeah, you go further north, yeah, you pretty much have to have snow tires is what we do.
Well, people in foreign countries are speaking out against Donald Trump. You saw a march in Copenhagen, and someone in British Parliament spoke out, and it's people around the world are protesting. They're protesting in Davos too, where many world leaders are attending the Davos conferences. This is happening in Minnesota. People, for some reason, are going in and buying salt because it melts ice, and then they return it, and they bring it right back again and return it. I think to A, make a political message, and then B, to kind of mess up Target's, commerce.
Well,
That message about corporate courage is really starting to get out there.
Yeah.
And of course, we haven't seen any corporate courage, that is. Well, we've seen some.
Hey, this documentary is coming up on PBS, The Librarians. It seems kind of like low on the list, but libraries are very important in my opinion, and this documentary is all about how libraries are under attack. So look for this one. It's going to be premiering February 9th on a PBS channel near you, so check it out. The Librarians.
Can you expand on that a little bit? How are they under attack?
Well, I think that they go to, first of all, they go to a lot of school meetings, these groups, and these might be more Christian nationalist groups, and they speak up at, what books are in our high school library or even our middle school, our elementary, and now they're attacking public libraries in ways, and that's what the documentary is about. It's raising the concerns about freedom of speech and freedom of what you might want to read in a public library, and they want to.
So it's Donnie Darko.
Yeah, maybe.
Well, if you've seen the movie, there's a point where they try to get rid of Graham Greene book.
Ah.
I believe it was Graham Greene. But yeah, the Donnie character ends up buying a whole bunch of them and distributing them to his classmates.
Librarians have such an interesting perspective that they see what the public is interested in because they're coming to the library looking for books, and people are buying books or checking out books on fascism and whatever they need to know more about. And they want to shut down that kind of free flow of information.
Yeah.
And it's just horrible.
Did you guys see this clip of this lawmaker telling Trump, in words you might understand?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're speaking out all around the world
No,
against Donald
we're
Trump.
frozen.
Are we frozen?
Oh, no. Okay, I
I'm
thought we
still
were
here.
frozen.
They're speaking
The
out.
11 was standing there for quite some time. I thought, wow, what happened there?
I was in Austin in Texas, when those early days of seemingly independent men and women coming into the school board meetings and demanding changes to the library. And then learned, of course, it was exposed that they were nothing more than scripted speeches they were reading from the legislative, I forget the name of that acronym that writes that stuff. And it's just an army of like-minded Christian nationalists that were moving from place to place. So it was never an independent movement, never a plural movement. It was simply a small coterie of political agents, and yet it was always characterized as somehow as an uprising. But it wasn't, never was. Just tightly orchestrated and scripted dance.
This has been an issue from the beginning, my friends. So when I was growing up, we used to have the John Birch Society come in and do that sort of shit.
Yep.
Yeah, it's. I think that's all of these topics are discussed in that documentary. If you watch the trailer, you'll get a taste of it. It looks very interesting. Well, this is a list of 10 ways to stay grounded if you're feeling knocked off balance by what's happening. This is 10 pointers from the Sojourn website. Sojourn.
Yeah.
Sojourn. Great website that I didn't know about, and it's really nice. And, these are the first paragraphs. It's a longer article, but trusting yourself and trusting that what you're feeling is right, because we're being told so much by so many people that it's hard to know our own thoughts in a way, we're bombarded.
Do you want me to take about 5 seconds to talk about Sojourners?
Yes, please tell us about it.
All right. Sojourners is very interesting insofar as it was started by evangelicals. There was, and still is, to a very, very lesser degree, something called the evangelical left.
Don't you think?
And that's interesting. So, Sojourners was started as a magazine called the Post American. Post American was produced and edited by a couple of guys, I believe, from Trinity College or someplace, evangelical seminary. So they were seminarians. The big one, and maybe the one you met, was Jim Wallace. He was kind of the big name. They developed this magazine at the height of the Vietnam War. And, of course, they were strongly anti-war. And they were strongly pro-civil rights. And they were strongly feminist. And they were strongly interested in community. Basically, they were almost kind of like evangelical hippies. But they maintained their evangelical faith. There were several of these people. A big name that comes to mind is a guy named William Stringfellow, but that's for another time. In any case, it stuck. They managed to pull off a long-term project where they have a community now in Washington, D.C., and have had for quite some time. And they produce Post American was the predecessor to what is now Sojourners. So Sojourners is produced by the remnants of the evangelical left. As surprising as that may all sound. Anyway, I'm done. That's it.
So when you say community, is it like a commune kind of a thing where they're living together, or just a community of people that live in the area and gather?
It's like a commune where they're all living together.
Oh wow, I didn't know that.
No, they have a magazine, or they had a magazine.
Oh, they always had the magazine.
Yeah. I question this one. Release things you cannot change. The belief behind that is yes, by yourself. But when you can get a groundswell behind you, there are things that you don't think you can change that you can change. This whole idea about corporate courage, if people would pay attention to where their dollar goes, that could happen as a result of our spending. Get off your Amazon account,
So true.
I agree.
So true. And cycling back to the Gandhi film, it was a thing that Cox Richardson and a guest, I'm sorry, I forgot her name, talking about the brutality of the Trump regime and how it was likened to the brutality of the Roman Empire. The Roman Empire being built on order, structure, and brutality. So wherever the Roman army went, they brutalized everyone into submission. And what the historian brought up was the only time that the Roman army could be defeated in battle. They didn't win the war, but in battle was against the elephants of Hannibal's army. They didn't know their structure, their order, didn't know how to respond to an animal that large and that potentially destructive. And so, Eddie, when you're talking about, building that mess, it makes me think about, remember at the beginning of the film in Gandhi where the British are supposed to attack, and the humans are laying down, and it was the British cavalry. So all the humans laid down and created a human carpet, and the horses were smart enough not to know to advance into that. They knew that was wrong, or it was injurious to them. And so in the same way, building mass, whether it's through laying down and appealing to animal instincts or being the elephant in the room, so to speak, just the big group of something that can't be reduced by this brutality, was really a powerful idea to me. And I was thinking, gosh, maybe if we converted, if we become the Republican, become the elephant, could be something that helps heal our country, and that instead of having this radical right, let's just infiltrate that party and that way of thinking with the majority of people who want a different kind of world, and neutralize it that way. Become the elephant, be the elephant in the room, have such volume and mass that it can't be ignored.
Exactly.
I agree. There's more of us than there are of them. I mean, I heard that there are only about 10 million armed forces people in the United States, and there's 350 million Americans, right?
Yeah.
We have them outnumbered.
Yeah, protesters if in Minneapolis we had 10 times the protesters than there are ICE soldiers there. That's 30,000 people. We can get that together, if not in Minneapolis, then in other cities, and just push back like we are that elephant that can't be overcome.
That many people in the streets around where people are trying to go. I mean, you'd have to follow it really closely, but there wouldn't be any movement.
Yeah. Yep.
We had.
Tell you what, if you guys got some downtime, why don't you come to Minneapolis?
It's not out of the question. I think people
I've got a house here. I can put you up.
People should be flocking there.
Yeah, that's what it should be. Just like the Wash on Washington, just hundreds of thousands of people finding a way to get to these locations, just pushing back so powerfully that there's no alternative to it.
I was thinking Chicago in '68.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, yeah.
I did. Yep.
On a smaller note, have you guys seen the Buddhist monk walking from, where was it, Alabama to D.C.?
Oh, it was further than that. Didn't they start out in Texas?
It could have been Texas. And at the beginning, people were helping him and stuff, but by the end, you see, hundreds of people joining them to do the walk. And it's like, It's a peaceful thing. And if you thought about that in Minneapolis, if people just got out and filled the streets, man, things wouldn't be able to happen the way they're happening.
Well, it's happening tomorrow.
Really?
The 23rd has been declared a day of resistance. So there's boycotts, there's a march. There's also below 10-degree weather.
Yeah.
So not entirely sure how that's going to work out. I'm actually questioning whether I can hack the weather.
Yeah.
But hopefully I'll be there.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's happening. It's happening in Minnesota.
We
need to have more of a variety of events, I think. I think that if they had like all the churches joined together in an ecumenical service in front of the Whipple building, that would be a very interesting thing to do. The way things are going right now, basically you flock to the Whipple building and you'll fuck you at ICE agents, for a couple hours and then you're done. I'm not sure that's entirely the best way to go about it. I think there's perhaps other far more intense ways to set up a protest. A vigil strikes me as a good idea. But there's no shouting. You just stand there dressed in black.
Yep.
Stuff like that. The Portland thing, I think, is played. I don't think people showing up dressed as, Barney, really are going to make much of an effect. We've already seen them arrest that giraffe guy.
Yeah.
With extreme prejudice. So I think we have to start taking this very, very serious and respond in kind.
Yeah.
And it's respond as adults. I'm done.
Yep. I was thinking, again, saw another article about high school students often leading the way because they test the water. People seem to be sympathetic and don't want to harm young people. And so then out of that, they say, another group says, okay, if that's possible, then we'll go ahead and join. The hay bale works in the same way. It's just, and other people can find access through that gesture to create a larger experience.
Well, it's like a body laying in the street, you know. Scooter,
Yeah.
you can start that tomorrow.
Yeah, and instead of it being
Make it happen.
like punk.
Hey guys, this has been great. Let's all keep exploring non-violent means of civil disobedience because it's leading us more and more to this thing. But I think numbers are the key one, and I appreciate you all voicing your thoughts on today's program. And,
Yeah, become the elephant.
Yeah, do it.
Yeah.
There's more
So
of us.
I hate to do this, Roy, but I just want to mention one other thing
Sure.
that I think we should all be taking notice of, and that's the resurgence, at least in small part in Philadelphia, of the Black Panther Party.
Oh, right.
Oh,
Yep.
hadn't heard about that.
Check it out. Now, I don't think it's very big, and it might be kind of a, what's the word I'm looking for? A vanity project for this one guy who appears to be their leader and chairman. But they're showing up
Yeah.
armed.
Oh,
Yeah.
is that like that group in Charlotte? You remember that?
Trying to. I don't know that I do.
It was, oh God, it must have been like 40 guys with AKs, all black, all dressed in the garb.
Yeah, kind of
yeah.
like that.
Well, it's
Kind of
like
like that. I don't know if that's up to 40, but there's at least a few of them,
Yeah.
and they're making their presence known.
Right. And that's going to be attractive to younger people as well. The idea of that radical statement, because going to, again, everything I've been to, it's always dominated by people my age. And so we have to appeal in whatever way possible and successful to that younger audience. It's their world, man.
Yeah, absolutely. But it does present an interesting challenge for those of us who want nonviolence.
Yeah.
I think we have to clear up what we mean by nonviolence. Nonviolence is not peaceful.
No. Good point. Yep.
No.
yeah, that's a good point.
Still a strong, emotive, almost radical gesture, but not using violence.
I'd say not using violence is a far more radical gesture than using violence. That's
Yeah.
what they're provoking. That's what they want.
Yep.
Well, they want that so they can release the military to come in. That's the game plan. That's why they keep pushing it.
Yep.
Well, a lot of
Yeah.
things to keep our eyes on. I appreciate you bringing up the Black Panther thing because I've been seeing a few of those come through my news feed as well. And it reminds me, didn't the Black Panthers show up at Sacramento at the
Yeah, that was the beginning of gun control in California
Right,
that
and-
Reagan signed off on.
right? And then they went in and say you can't walk around like that with a gun.
Yeah.
So-
Yeah. Wrong audience for this.
Yeah.
Second Amendment rights for me, but not for the.
Yeah.
Right. Well, thank you for bringing it up, and
Great.
see you all again. Stay strong, everyone.
All right.
All right,
Chat
bye.
soon.
Adios.
Bye bye.